All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another live session on Thursday. It is 7 p.m., October 19th. Super pumped to be joining y'all again tonight. So I know last week one of the things that we talked about was the fair. Cindy and I actually went to the fair this week, and I could not believe how expensive the food was. It really blew my mind. I mean, like I said last time, we had not been to the fair in years. We just went to Disney, gosh, like a month ago, and I think the food at Disney was cheaper than the food at the fair. Really blew my mind, but a lot of fun. If you have not been yet, make sure to make time to go check it out. But if you're joining us live, make sure to put in the comments where you're joining from. I got Next Level saying good evening. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining. Yeah, make sure to put in the comments where you're joining from. And even if you're watching this in the future, make sure to put in the comments where you're joining from. It's just, I mean, one, it's just fascinating, right? I love seeing where everybody's tuning in from. We got local folks who tune in. We got folks who are out of state. We got folks who are out of the country that end up watching at least the replays of these. And it's just really fascinating. So, yep, Next Level joining from Raleigh. So that is awesome. Love it when some local folks join in. But yeah, so got another loaded agenda tonight. We're going to kick it off with some looking at the Interstate 540 growth. So for those of you who are locals, you're probably pretty familiar with Interstate 540, at least the northern portion. So I'm going to go ahead and share this screen here. There we go. All right. So Interstate 540, it is, for those of you who are not familiar, it's essentially the outer loop of Raleigh. So you've got this inner loop here, which is 440. It's also known as the Beltline when you talk to locals. But the outer loop called 540 is really only half complete. So you see this blue area up here. It is the completed part. This red area is the part that is yet to be completed. So it's really fascinating. This has been going on. I mean, really since if y'all have watched our YouTube channel over the last several years, we've talked about 540 a lot, especially this new addition to 540. Well, they just came out with an article on WRAL talking about how the first phase of 540 will be complete in 2024, which is absolutely amazing. So I think that's one of these projects that I think is going to transform especially the southern portion of the triangle, but really the triangle as a whole. For those of you who aren't too familiar, I'm going to pull up a map so you can kind of get an idea of actually where 540 is located. Let me see. Right. There we go. All right. So you have Raleigh here. Obviously, this is 440. But then when you zoom in, one thing I love about these satellite maps, and honestly, from a real estate perspective, this is absolutely crucial. So it's nice to know where the highway is going, especially if you're purchasing a home in this area. You don't want to accidentally purchase a house and have a interstate in your backyard. So it's really helpful with that. But this stretch of highway that is coming out of 540 here is basically going to connect Apex, Holly Springs area all the way down here to Garner. So that's the first phase of this road that's going to be done. It's about 18 miles, and it truly is. I mean, it is going to transform this southern side of the triangle. there's a lot of residential development that's on the southern side, but I think where the southern side of the triangle sometimes struggles, especially when you're talking about like a Fuquay or a Clayton. This is my opinion, but I think where they struggle sometimes is the commercial development side of those areas. So get a lot of neighborhoods going in, but you don't always get the amenities that follow that. So like a good example of a place that has a good balance between the two is a place like Wake Forest, where I think you could probably make an argument that it's maybe a little too much, a little too fast in a place like Wake Forest, but you get a good balance of residential growth and commercial growth in a place like Wake Forest. In Clayton and Fuquay, I don't feel like you necessarily get a good portion of both. I think it's pretty heavy on the residential side. I think the completion of Interstate 540 on that southern loop, once all the phases are done, so this is just phase one, then they'll start phase two afterwards. But I think once all the phases are done, I think it's going to transform that southern portion of the triangle. Not just, obviously, it's already exploding residentially, but I think on a commercial side of it, you're going to see explosive growth as well. So, which I think is needed. And you're also going to have like this road right here, 1010 Road, right? So 1010 Road comes all the way down to Benson Road and essentially connects you up to US 1 up here. It's going to it should alleviate some of the traffic that you get on 1010 Road. So I think in general, the expansion of 540 is going to be massive for the southern portion of the area. I was reading the article. I think it was in the Triangle Business Journal, but it was from the economic development head in Johnston County. Johnston County, just for reference, it's over here on the east side. So you have Wake County, which is where Raleigh and Apex and Holly Springs and all those areas are. But Johnston County is over here with Clayton. And he was talking about how even though this road project is in Wake County, it's just as big, if not, he said it was the biggest infrastructure project in Johnston County's history, even though it's a Wake County project. And what he means by that is this road is going to impact those far out areas. When I drive from Durham down to Clayton, I mean, it's a drive. It is a drive. Got to get on 40, got to get down on 70 to be able to loop down from Durham, which is up here, down 540, loop all the way around, and then hop off right in Clayton. I mean, it's going to be a game changer for pretty much everybody. It's going to make the triangle, especially these further out regions, it's going to make them feel significantly closer. So, yeah, I'd love y'all's thoughts on what you think about the 540 expansion project. I mean, 2024 is it's next year. I mean, 2024 is just in a couple months. It did not state how far into 2024 this will be completed. But I mean, that's a big deal. You'll have this first phase completed, which is this section right through here. And then the second phase will cut off from here, from Interstate 40, and go all the way up to Nightdale. So I think there were projections of 2028 for this second phase, which is about a 10 mile segment. But all in all, I mean, it truly is. It's going to be one of those projects that absolutely transforms this area. I think for the better. So there needs to be better traffic control, better, access points for those southern regions of the triangle. So, all right, moving on. One of my favorite things about North Carolina are the leaves changing in the fall. So Yelp actually posted an article. I'll pull it up here for you, with the top places in the country. The Next Level said, been working on it so long, I didn't think they'd ever get it done. No, I mean, I think that's why, when I saw the article, I was like, like it has a date. It has a date of completion, at least for that first phase. And then even the second phase, I mean, 2028 is, I mean, it sounds far, but it's really not. And so, but yeah, I think everyone was kind of wondering when that was going to happen. But yeah, so leaves changing is the next one. Let me pull this over here. Right. Sorry about that, y'all. All right. So Yelp did an article where they talked about the best places to view changing leaves in the fall, and North Carolina actually made the list twice. And I mean, honestly, this is one of the best things about North Carolina, in my opinion. So, top 20 places in the country to see changing leaves. Number three actually wasn't. What number was it? Here we go. Number 5 on the list. Blue Ridge Parkway. So if you've never been to the Blue Ridge Parkway and you live in North Carolina, you've got to go. It is absolutely stunning, especially this time of year. This time of year is just unbelievably beautiful. Um, I know this article, it says Asheville, but I mean, honestly, Asheville's about 3.5 hours or so from here. If you go to Boone, which is 2.5 hours from here, you can also hop on to the Blue Ridge Parkway, so it's significantly closer. If you have kids, this time of year is great in Boone because they have a little amusement park called Tweetsy Railroad. It's like I don't know, a 3-mile trail. You can take your 3-mile train track, I should say. You can take your kids on. They got an old like steam engine train, and kind of have this little goofy show that they do in the train. But it's just a really, really, really neat place. That's in Boone. The Blue Ridge Parkway is right there as well. And basically it's a stretch of road that goes from North Carolina all the way up into Virginia, and the views from it are just unbelievable, especially this time of year. Now, at this point, you might have missed peak season for leaves in the mountains. I believe they were going to peak sometime mid-October or so, especially in the higher elevations. They probably already have peaked. But all that to say, I mean, this is something you can easily take advantage of in North Carolina. But the one that made the list, the whole reason for this article is Umstead Park, which is a state park here in Raleigh. It made the list number 20 on the list. This was top 20 places in the United States to see leaves changing. Umstead Park was number 20 on the list, which I think is really cool. I mean, the fact that we have in our area one of the best places to view the changing leaves is just really, really, really cool. So I'm really thankful for that. I think, but you don't even really need to go to, one of these state parks to see leaves. I mean, honestly, just leaving your house and driving around, you see it. But for those of you who don't know much about Umstead Park, it's like a 5,500 acre state park, basically in the heart of Raleigh, or I mean, it's in North Raleigh, but trails. I mean, it's a beautiful place. It's right by the airport. The airport's pretty close by. But yeah, top 20 places to see changing leaves in the country right here in Raleigh, which I think is really cool. All right, we got a question from Miss Tenacious. What areas or new communities would you recommend for 55 plus who are looking for nearby, within 3 miles, Walmart, Target, medical facility, a Waffle House, and lower crime? Great question. So I would say to get all of those things, I would say the Cary area. Cary's going to be a little more, it's going to be on the higher price side. But that's going to essentially get you that entire wish list in Cary. There is a Del Webb community that's in Cary. It's part of the Amberley neighborhood. It's a section of the Amberley neighborhood that could be a really good fit. So great medical access in Cary. You're going to be close to any kind of store you want to be close to, and there's Waffle Houses pretty much everywhere. So I think Cary would make a really good location for that. But fantastic question. Thanks for asking that. Yeah, I love I love the questions. If y'all got questions, bring them on. So that's awesome. But anyway, if you want to check out Leaves, Umstead Park, right here in Raleigh. For those of you who are local, if truly, if you've never been and you're local, it's truly it's wonderful. So it's just a nice escape from the city. That's in the heart of the city. So I think it's just really it's really cool. It's really special to have something like that here in Raleigh that you have easy access to. So, all right. Next up is there was a report that came out, not a report, it was an article that came out regarding, it was in the Triangle Business Journal. It was about a new development going on in North Durham that got me pretty excited. So North Durham doesn't always get a lot of love, I don't think. And there's an old Coca-Cola bottling company in North Durham. It's off of Hillsborough Road. If you've ever been on Hillsborough Road, it's kind of near, it's near the Duke Hospital area, so it's not too far from there. I kind of call it like, it's one of those roads that has like just a ton of fast food on it. It's just everywhere you look, there's like a fast food restaurant there. There's one over there. They're all different. That's what Hillsborough Road is. So before you get to like that fast food section, there's this old Coca-Cola bottling company. And it looks like what they're going to do, and it's got me really excited. One, because it's in North Durham, and I don't always feel like North Durham gets a lot of love. But two, I really like these new concepts that are coming up that are combining residential living with this commercial aspect to it. So they're looking at, let me share the article with y'all so y'all can see it here. Yeah, so they're going to have up to 405 residences. There'll be some multifamily rental units, some for sale townhomes, and then they're going to also throw in a 2,300 square foot grocery store. There's also going to be some other commercial space as well that's going to involve some restaurants, it sounds like, and some other retail space. But I love these kind of new concepts that are this almost like, I don't know the way to describe it, but you've got the residential and the commercial kind of mixed together. I think just makes life more convenient and makes the area just a little more attractive. But yeah, 2,300 square feet. So they're going to put in essentially what's going to go into this portion here, which is what the Coca-Cola bottling plant is. They're going to put they described it as, basically like a small organic style grocery store, which I think would be a really good fit in North Durham. North Durham doesn't really have a lot of that. You have to drive either to downtown or to the south side of Durham to get anything remotely similar to that. So I think that kind of concept would work really well in North Durham. This really lacking that type of grocery store. So anyway, just piqued my interest. I love North Durham. It's just got like a charm to it and a character to it that you don't find in other parts of the Triangle. And but I also feel like it's sometimes a little behind the curve with some other stuff. So I thought this was a really cool development that would be going in North Durham. Right. Ms. Snatius, you know what the property tax rate is in Cary? Is just right at 1%. So I don't know the exact off the top of my head, but it's right there at 1%. So another great question. All right. Speaking of projects that include residential and commercial, for those of you who have followed our videos before know that I'm a big fan of Wendell Falls. I love it. I think it's a great community. I think it has a ton of upsides and character. One of the things that I love about Wendell Falls is kind of goes with some of the stuff we've been talking about, but one of the things I love about it is the fact that they have mixed use space. So you have this residential area in Wendell Falls, and then you have this commercial side to Wendell Falls. It's really massive. I mean, it's like, I think 2 million square feet of commercial space that's in Wendell Falls. Some of that is, you've got a Publix grocery store, but you also have this whole list right here of places that are open. This article, essentially what this article is this saying that there's that one phase is completed and they'll be starting another phase of commercial development in Wendell Falls. But I mean, you look at this list, and I mean, obviously, some of these are fast food joints, but I mean, literally, like in this neighborhood, there's houses that could walk to Starbucks, which I think is just really cool. I mean, there's not many neighborhoods in the Triangle that afford people that ability to just walk to your coffee shop. The Farmhouse Cafe, that's the cafe that is within. It's like the main community buildings, like the HOA building. HOA building, that makes sense. It's the community building. They've got like a little cafe in there. The pool is there. It's just a really neat space. They have a coffee shop inside of that. I mean, you just look at this list. I mean, you got a dentist office, you got doggy daycare, you've got a charter school, middle and elementary, Jersey Mike, Starbucks. This is what is already open in Wendell Falls. What they're going to open is this list right here. You have a pizza shop. You've got, for those of you who are not local, Bojangles is this Cajun chicken restaurant that is just out of this world good. It is, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It is far, far better than Popeyes. I've met people who say Popeyes is better. Not true. Not even remotely true. Bojangles is so stinking good. So if you're not local here and you come into the area and you see a Bojangles, you should stop. You should stop there immediately and try their food. It's unbelievable. But I mean, this list, I mean, like this is in a neighborhood. I just think it's really cool that you could live in a neighborhood that has all of this housed inside of it. You're not driving far to get to it. It is. Miss Tenacious said, "I hate Popeyes." Honestly, I agree with that. The couple times I've eaten there, it's not good. I prefer Bojangles, honestly. But yeah, I just think this is really cool. So Wendell Falls is a really great, next level, the best fast food chicken. I completely agree. Bojangles is amazing. But yeah, I mean, for folks who are looking for new construction, and who want a neighborhood that has a lot of amenities built into it, and honestly has a walkability factor to it, Wendell Falls is just fantastic. I'll try to see if I can pull it up on the map here just to show y'all, especially for folks who don't live here. Let's see. All right. There we go. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, this is the neighborhood right here, the residential side. And then this entire space down here is the commercial side. I mean, it's just massive. There's so much stuff here. You've got the community center here. There's like a little park right here. You see this like a little pathway that comes down here. There's a tunnel that cuts under. The one downside is this road is unbelievably busy. So crossing it with my kids would be terrifying. But you've got this little tunnel that cuts under and kicks you out down here, so you can walk over to the clubhouse, to the pool. I mean, it's just such a neat neighborhood. So anyway, for those, anytime someone is looking for new construction in like the North Raleigh, Wake Forest area, I always tell them, I'm like, when you go check out Wendell Falls, it may not be for you, but it's worth going to check out just in case. And for a lot of folks, it becomes the place they want to be. So Next Level said, what are your thoughts on building from the ground up in today's economy? I think, I mean, the advice, the advice I give folks who are looking to, so So it depends. I think if you're looking to build with a major builder, right? Like someone who's building in Wendell Falls, or someone who's building in really any community right now. Um, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think for a lot of buyers right now, new construction is the best option. Just being honest with where rates are. There's incentives that you can get on the new construction side that do not exist on the resale side. Um, we can always negotiate things on the resale side, but excuse me, what some of these builders are offering folks, you just can't compete with on the resale side. And so we've had more folks this year go new construction as a result of that, percentage wise, than we ever have in our 7 years of doing this. And so it's if you're building that way, I think it makes a lot of sense. If you're building when it comes to like you're buying a lot, you are bringing in, a local builder or custom home builder. Um, it gets really expensive that way, especially when you start looking at different cost aspects of running utilities out, or if you don't have access to city water, city sewer, and you're running septic lines and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it gets really looking into bold. And okay, yeah. So but yeah, so I think it just depends on the route you're taking. I think some of these regional local builders who are already building in neighborhoods, these nationwide builders, I think it makes sense. I just don't think there's the you just can't get you can get a 6% rate with some of these builders on the resale side. You can't, or on the new construction side, you can't get that on the resale side. So but yeah, I think to build on your lot, you know, with a local builder becomes very, very, very expensive very quickly. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful. Miss Tenacious said, really enjoyed watching you send these videos. They're very helpful. Working on moving to North Carolina, hopefully within the next year. Thank you so much. That's so kind. Yeah, so appreciate you watching. So all right, moving on to the last, and I love the questions tonight. Seriously, like this is what I mean. We want to use this as a means to, give area updates and all that kind of stuff. Like we definitely want to use it as that. We also want to use it as a means to answer questions. So love the questions tonight. So they're awesome. All right, last story. Let me see. We'll pull up the best. Cindy told me that my title was misleading because I said best barbecue in the South, and the winner in the triangle is not the best in the South. But so I didn't mean it to be misleading, but they are in the top 50, and I think arguably maybe they should be a little higher. So it does have a 1 beside it, but they're number 50. So the best barbecue in the triangle is what I should have said. Prime Barbecue, located in Nightdale. Unbelievable barbecue. They were ranked number 50 in the South by Southern Living magazine. If you have not been to Prime Barbecue, I mean, it truly is. It's unbelievable. If you have kids and you're anything like Cindy and I, we really struggle to find restaurants that fit our family or our kids and just kind of allow them to eat, but also have a space after they eat to blow off some steam and kind of run around. Prime Barbecue is located right across from Nightdale Station Park. You literally just cross the street into the park. And it's a massive park. They have fields, they have a splash pad. Obviously, when it's summer, that would be applicable, but they have a playground. I mean, walking trails. Like it's a really, really, really cool area. And so you can go eat barbecue at the best barbecue restaurant in the Triangle, and then take your kids over to the park. So it's really cool. There was another North Carolina spot on here, right down here, Barbecue Center. So my dad is a massive fan of Lexington style barbecue. Lexington's like it's probably hour and a half or so from here. It's in more of the central part of the state. It's considered the barbecue capital of North Carolina. I'm pretty sure, I'll have to ask my dad, I'm pretty sure I ate at this restaurant with him. North Carolina style. So whereas prime is going to be more of like a Texas style barbecue. But this is, I mean, if you want to try classic North Carolina style barbecue, this is essentially where you would go. But they beat out prime. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I prefer the Texas style over the North Carolina style, even though I'm from North Carolina. So I think my dad would highly disagree with that if you heard me say that. But anyway, so these are the stories for tonight. I really appreciate y'all joining in. I appreciate y'all asking questions. I love it. Seriously, that's what we want to do on here. So yeah, if you joined us while we were doing this, or maybe doing the replay and you watched all the way through, make sure to put in the comments where you're joining from. Let me see. Miss Snatius, what would you say average utilities for a family of one? Electricity, gas, water, sewer, trash. That's a good question. So for us, our electricity, gas, water, gosh, we're around, I would say 200 a month roughly, for electricity, gas, and water. That's during, it varies per season. But water and sewer typically, at least in Durham, they're combined. So nice. We got someone joining from Long Island. Very cool. One of my good agent friends is out in the Long Island area. So very cool. Very cool. But yeah, anyway, it was wonderful with y'all joining tonight and asking questions. Seriously, just amazing. So had a blast. We do this every single Thursday at 7 p.m. So we will be on here next Thursday at 7. But until then, y'all have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful start to your week next week, and I will see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.